Good morning and welcome to You Better Fact Check because I had wine first. Today, I want to talk about school. Returning to school amidst the dreaded corona pandemic. Sorry, I yawned. My kids... What'd you say, Austin?
I said
Corona is boring. Okay. It's boring because you ain't got that shit. So calm down.
Yep.
And be quiet. So the kids are returning to school next week. I know lots of parents have mixed feelings about it. I know I do. In a very perfect world, the kids would be doing full virtual learning until the start of the new calendar year and still get government funding and wouldn't have the threat of funding pulled by the president if you don't put butts in seats. It's a hard one. I work at a school. I work at another job that I'm required to be at. So my kids have been in childcare anyway. They've been around hundreds of people. So why not send them back to school?
Because we hate school.
Well, hating school is not a good enough reason not to go, little boy. So be quiet because I'm doing my podcast. I don't know. And we have to think about the things we haven't dealt with our children also. Like the abrupt closing of school in March that left kids anxious and spiraling in the wind because you didn't get to say goodbye really to your teachers and friends, and seniors didn't get to say goodbye to their childhood, just things like that. And people are always saying kids are resilient and they bounce back. I heard a lot of that when we were doing the rezoning for our school district. That kids were so resilient and they could take the rezoning of schools and it not bother them, which to me was a lie. Just like the resilience of children now amidst this pandemic and all of these strange changes to them and not a very clear path of what's going to happen or how to explain it to them. And now they are going to be thrust back into school to, in my opinion, be taken right back out. Because whether they go back to school and contract coronavirus or just get sick from something else, there's going to be lots of absences, and I feel like continued school closings. Because you've had children who haven't been exposed to anybody since March. So their sweet little immune systems have been sitting at home watching Netflix and YouTube and not exposed to any other germs but their own. And now they're about to be exposed to 300 plus other people and their germs. Whether it's corona germs or not, they're going to be exposed to something and they're going to get sick. And we will be back at square one. On the other hand, kids need socialization. They miss their friends. They miss interacting with people other than their parents. And I'm not a parent who's saying, I'm so ready for kids to go back to school because I'm tired of my children. They're mine 24/7. I'm not tired of them. No parent actually means they're tired of their kids. I don't know. There needs to be a more clear path to what is going to happen with school outside of going 2 days a week and being off 3. This goes to something that inconveniences most parents, which is the expense of childcare, which the government is not ready to absorb any of that cost. I fortunately get some assistance, so I don't pay the full price for childcare, but I still pay over $250 per week for my kids to attend school part-time. Or was that just for summer care? It's cheaper for after-school care. But anyway, I will still have to pay for after-school care, or no, full-time care with them being in school, because school is only 2 days a week. And they're children, so they need someone to be in charge of them the other 3 days. I work full-time. My boyfriend works full-time. Lots of households, the mom and dad work full-time. So now you have to find something to do with your children 3 days a week. You can't send them with their elderly grandparents, because now that falls under like a death sentence for older people who have any type of health risks. There's so many things to unpack and so many individual circumstances that don't allow for this to be a great way of teaching. And I know we can't continue to do virtual learning forever, because frankly, I'm not a teacher. That's not what I went to school for. So I would not be able to convey the knowledge to them in a way that they would understand it properly. Like, I could tell you what I know, I could read the things to you, but I can't break it down in a way that a teacher has been taught to do it. And then there are parents who don't have the knowledge to assist their children, or don't have the time because they are a single parent and at 2 jobs, so they won't be able to be there and help their kids with their homework. Or again, back to, they don't have the knowledge because they didn't finish school, or we're old. So the things that our kids are learning in 5th grade and 6th grade are things that we learned in high school. So it's hard. I will say it probably would have been easier for them to do virtual learning, not the way we did it in March when they closed school, which was you were assigned the assignments and once a week you met with the teacher via Zoom. But if they logged into class every day, like the school that I work at, which is, I feel like, the best system, it's like they're in school all day long. They're logging to their classes the hours that they're supposed to be in the class, and they're getting communication with the teacher all day long. But again, who can do that with an elementary school aged child? Like, supervise and they be logged in, especially if you have 2 additional children or even 1 additional child. How can you focus the attention and make sure that they're getting all the things they need from a virtual class if it were done that way? There is no right way to do this, but there is a lot of wrong ways to do it, and I think it's the way that is set up right now. You don't go back, and this is just speaking for, I guess, my state and my area. You don't go back to school in the height of an outbreak and expect things to work out in your favor. If they do, and kids and teachers do not rapidly get sick, then maybe Corona was a hoax. But I doubt it. Or maybe it's being handled the proper way, and the 6 feet apart and the mask for children all day is working. I don't know. We will see. But the closer it gets to August 20th, the more anxious I get about sending my kids around others and not knowing how well they've kept themselves protected, or how well their children are protected, or how they feel about masks. I don't know. This is a lot for us all to deal with. But thank you to the teachers who will be assisting our children through this very difficult time. Yes, my Austin is giving a thumbs up when I say thank you to the teachers, because this is a big thing. You are risking your life to teach at, again, what we all know is a very unacceptable wage. We love and appreciate our teachers and our essential workers, right? And our grocery store workers. I can't leave myself out. But more than anything, I can speak for myself. Love and appreciate my children and how they present themselves in such a way that it's sometimes hard to see how much this bothers them. The being in close quarters together, not really getting to see your friends unless it's people that you've been quarantined with. I appreciate it. Them not being total brats because they didn't get to go to the beach this year. But they will. You'll get to vacation again. You'll get to spend time with your grandma again. You'll get to hug your friends. But for now, the most important thing is to wear a mask, social distance, wash your hands, be respectful is a big one right now. Because people are kind of assholes about the mask. I know, babe. And, one last thing. It was probably the most important thing, and I could have spent the 13 minutes talking about this, but I didn't. It's been about 152 days, 53 days since Breonna Taylor was murdered. How about we work on that? And this is me signing off at 10:58 a.m. So no, I didn't actually have wine. Have a great Tuesday.